Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Doodle Robot, and today you have tuned in for the Robot Report. This is a report as of, I think today's August 8th, maybe? I'm not really sure. I'm retired now. I don't have to keep track of such things. All right. I have a job interview later today. We'll see how that goes. So we're going to look at a couple of whips, answer a few viewer questions today. So the first, well, the only viewer question, I guess, I think there were others, but I don't remember what they were. They were asking me about my backgrounds with the shiny paints. So I've got all my color shift paints out here for you, but let's look at a couple of examples. Nope, not there. Nope. We have this one, and I'm not sure if they asked me about this page or no. This page here, the background pink there, also used the color shift, the color shift paints there. I think that's it for that book. Or if the question was about one of these pages, the color shift paint is here in the kind of outer border area. It's two different color shift paints. It's hard to photograph such things, so I'm just going to spin it around so you can see all the colory goodness. I don't think I used color shift paint. I think that was metallic watercolors there. I don't think, nope, and none there. So it was one of those pages in one of those books, Magic Dreamland, or Mid-Century Modern Animals, both of which take paint great. Actually, even Amazon paper takes acrylic paint great. The side note, the page for this month, August, in Magic Dreamland, our group buddy color is the Panda page. Are you in shot there? Yeah. Okay, cute little panda. Oh, I thought this was a bowl of noodles. It's not. It looks like it's tea or coffee or cocoa or something. Does anybody know what this is out here? Tell me what that is out there. Is it just filler design or is it something? If you want to join either the Magic Dreamland group or the Mid-Century Modern group, Mid-Century Modern Animals, just DM me at Instagram. Same name. Our groups have, who do we have in our groups here? There's the Mid-Century Modern group, and here's the Magic Dreamland group. We have two new ones this month, Coloring with Anna and Colorfully Inspired. Woohoo! Welcome, ladies. So I look forward to seeing what everybody does with their Panda page. All right, so back to the question of backgrounds with the color shift paints. How do I do them? So on this page, so the color shift paints are very streaky. My favorite colors are these are all called flash. Green flash and black flash. Those are probably the two most opaque ones that I've noticed. So if you're going to do something with color shift paint, you're going to have to be ready to go over it multiple times. I think both of these pictures with the background color shift paints were 2 layers, and on both pages I made the same mistake. At first I started painting around these little fish because I'm like, yeah, that'll be easier. No, that just makes it more streaky. So I quickly abandoned that whole track, and I did the same thing with the green page. I was started to paint around everything, and you can see kind of in the corner it's a little more streaky there. So then what I did was I just boldly painted kind of all in one direction as best I could, and it's going to be streaky, and then I paint the next coat in the opposite direction, just like I do with water-based markers. Okay? That's going to hide a lot of those streaks because you have them going in perpendicular directions. Okay, and I did that on both of those pages. Now on the Magic Dreamland page, If I recall, let me refer to my notes here. I think I did the other trick that I have. Flowers from the pen. Okay, outer bubble. Yes, I did the other trick that I have. All right, so these are very streaky paints. So before I painted on the purpley flash colors for this one, I actually went over it with a light purple. Let me get my notes again here. Lilac mist plus white. So we've got white right here. Because I was painting something. So apple barrel, it doesn't have to be apple barrel. It could be any acrylic paint. I mixed lilac mist and white just to make a really light color to paint over that whole area. This is not a fast process. If you're into doing something fast, this isn't for you. Okay? Acrylic painting is kind of a slow medium. So I mixed two colors here. I then painted over it, and then I put the flash colors on top of that because it minimizes streaking. Okay, I think I still did. I probably didn't need to, but I'm just excessive and a perfectionist. I think I still did 2 coats of whatever color shift paint I used, and then 1 coat, I think, of the little bubbles on top of there. But that is how I minimize the streaking of it. Now, these color shift paints are some of those gimmicky things where if you paint them on black, they'll be like different colors than they are here. But that doesn't do anything for me. I buy the colors because I kind of want that color. So, I want flash green, or I want flash, what is this? Pastel green. That's the color I want. I'm not 3 and I'm not super excited about something that changes colors on top of black. Although I have experimented. I've never used them in that manner, but it's a possibility. So that's my trick, is to basically take whatever color, like let's say I was going to use this color. I might paint a pink like that and then paint that pink flash color on top of that. It may still take 2 coats to get it not streaky, but also it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for something very painterly also, something you could do also, generally when I paint, to minimize brush strokes is, I'm painting, this is exaggerated, but I'm painting in different directions sometimes, depending. If I want something to look like Van Gogh and see the brush strokes, then I would paint in a direction to see the brush strokes. But if I want to see no brush strokes, then you're going to have to paint in different directions to diffuse the strokes, basically. All right, so that was kind of a viewer question, like how did I do those? So those are the tricks that I have. I mean, this is not, it's not a quick medium. They look great. They're hard to photograph because they're flashy and shiny. But yeah, it's not something that's going to happen fast. So if you're one of those colorists that just like to crank out 1,000,000 pages and that's your goal in life, which is fine, I have no problem with that, might not be the thing for you. Better off would be metallic watercolors. They tend to go on more opaquely and quicker, but they do come in that little tiny pan, and this is probably a cheaper route, but I just like acrylic paints, and I don't mind doing layers. I mean, I came out of acrylic, abstract expressionist acrylic painting. I'm used to doing layers. I'm used to it being slow, so it doesn't bother me at all. But there are more colors than this. I don't have all the colors. I feel like there's a yellow I don't have. Maybe there's an orange or something that I don't have. But, I'll wait till I move to buy any more. There are also I have used the metallics less. I should use them more. I really want to. I especially want to use this blue one and this red one in a background somewhere. I'm thinking, though, that it would probably be the same. Like, I'd probably want to go, if I use the red metallic, I would probably want to paint it all red first and then put the red metallic on top of there. Personally, I think that's probably the best way to do it. So that's basically how I do my color shift flash paint backgrounds for the person who asked. Now, we got to get all this stuff out of the way. So yes, the viewer wanted to see what I use and kind of an explanation of how I use it. So hopefully that answers your question. So, we started a new series on my channel this month, which I'm rather liking, and it's called Color Inspirations, because I really like the videos where, especially Olga Rani, and some of the other people do it with what am I going to color kind of thing, where, you know, Olga Rani picks her prompt and then she looks through her books for that prompt. I kind of like that idea because I want to focus on certain things. So the first prompt that I decided on, and I've got a whole bunch of dorky little sayings. The first one was, don't bug me, I'm coloring. It's all about bugs. And I think I'm going to do that. I haven't decided if it's going to be every 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. It may just vary, probably. I'm not on a schedule. This is my hobby, so I'm just kind of, as JoJo says, my hobby shows up for me. I don't show up for my hobby. Love that saying, JoJo. But I've already done one. It's done. So I'll give you a sneak peek because I want to save it for my finished pages. But we started that and it's going well. I'm very inspired by this. Maybe if I can find the page. Little sneak peek there. See all the shimmer? And in a strange twist of fate here, I actually colored the bug first. Because I was using glitter and like shiny gel pens, I colored the bug first because I didn't know how those colors were going to play together. And usually I do a background first and then I do the main focal point, but because I just didn't know how that was going to be, I did the bugs first in that one. But I like how it turned out. Different than I expected, but you know, it was kind of a whole learning process with that much gel pen on the page. So the other one, a whip, which I'm going to show you. Now, again, this is an acrylic painting whip, so this took forever and a year. Many, many, many hours. This is Jewelry Box by Hannah Carlson. And I've had my eye on this page for a long time. There's so many bug pages I want to do. It's really hard to pick, but I was looking at this one, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of want something easy. And then I went and made it stupidly hard by adding a checkerboard background in acrylic paint. So we've used various colors of acrylic paint here to get the different colors. And antique white might be my favorite acrylic one. It's way better than white. It's more opaque than the apple barrel, and it gives it that kind of muted look when you dilute your paints with that. So yeah, so I just painted the whole background pink first, and then I put the darker squares on top. Now, this is where we went awry here. I thought I had this brilliant idea that was going to work so well, and didn't. We've got our Arctics acrylic marker set, which I don't like these as much as I like the pump acrylic pens. These are more like if watercolor markers and real acrylic markers had a baby, it would be these. So they're nice, and they're very popular by a lot of people out there like them. And I do understand what they're saying, like the brush. I destroyed the nib on this brush, but I decided that I was going to paint these top squares with this. And that was great for the first coat, but of course it was streaky, so I went in one direction, and then my second coat was going to go in another direction. But yeah, it ran out of ink. So I made that way harder than it had to be. So then I had to go back and do it again with the acrylic paint. So yes, many, many hours. This is not a fast thing. If you want fast, don't do this. Don't do acrylic painting. So at first I was going to try that everybody does that I have yet to try with my Neo Color 2s, Neo 2 colors, however you say it. Do the kind of the fade thing. I've yet to try that. I want to somewhere, but then I'm like, no, I want a checkerboard because it just needs to be a checkerboard. So yeah. At first I was going to do these all black and gray with just Prismacolor, you know, my main thing. But then I'm like, oh no, when I brush it away, when you have paint on the paper, especially if it's light paint, acrylic paint, tip for those of you out there, when you're brushing your color pencil away, it will stick in the texture of the paint because the paint is texture. So I remembered that lastly here. So I think this one is going to be a mixture of acrylic paint markers, maybe the Arctics or my beloved Ohuhu acrylic paint markers, water-based markers, and gel pens, I think. That could be, so just be straight coloring with those things. That could be very fun. And I may go and add, I didn't get that book out. I have a little stencil of a dragonfly that I love. It's very small. I've used it several times. I may add those around there. We'll see after I get everything colored if I want to do that. I was also thinking I might, with my gel crayons, do kind of a, you know how the edges of the corners get dirty. Although now that I have it open, I don't know about that. I like the dragonfly idea better. But anyways, that's where we are with that one. I'm excited. The bug prompt for me has been very inspiring. I think I'm going to be going away from buddy colors. I'll still have my 2 group colors. I think buddy colors, though, are a thing of the past, because now that I'm kind of free and my mind is kind of freed up, I'm having lots of ideas. And I have many ideas that I thought of before that I just didn't have time to enact when I was working. But I have many altered pages that I want to do, and I still have 4 in my last finished pages. I was so proud. I talked about how I cut my whips in half. I have 4 whips, long-standing whips, that I want to get done. I've been working on this one, so I'll show you where it's at. It's kind of in the ugly stage, but here we are. There's lots of glittery stuff on this page. I'll twist it so you can see it, but I've been engaging lots of tricks. I did not like the sky, so I covered over the sky, and I actually used watercolor paint there. Watercolor metallic paint there. And there'll be a bunch of stars on there, and I'm gonna, these little stripey things are not done yet. They're gonna have more stars and blend in with the sky. It should hopefully be cool. Hopefully the vision in my head will match what turns out on the page, but you know, you never know. So I've gotten kind of far. I actually finished the big mushrooms. I've based this and then covered, I'm not quite done, covered them. So it's getting there. I've started basing their mustaches. Yeah, I've just been pecking it. There's so many tiny little elements. I did this with just glitter gel pens. Yeah, so I've been pecking away at that. I would like to finish that one this month. That's kind of a goal. I was hoping to finish all of my whips this next 2 months, July and August, but I may only get to that one. I have an altered page idea here in Birds in the Forest for this page. Yes, that I would like to start. I'd like to do more altered pages on this channel. Those were always popular videos. Towards my end of teaching, I just had no creative ideas. I mean, I had the ideas, I just couldn't really bring myself to enact them. So, yes, we will see. Have an idea for that, based on an old movie. So that's pretty much all that's going on in Doodle Robot world. Thinking towards my next prompt. I don't know. My next coloring inspiration video. I kind of want to get a couple of these things done, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right, that is it for now. If you have any questions or whatever, let me know. They can be the topic of my next robot report. I thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. I hope you have a wonderful day. Live long and prosper. Bye-bye.